Yeah, buddy. We got power in the garage. Today is a big day. I have a lot of work to do. I don't have a lot of time. The sun's right there. In a couple of hours, it's gonna be over there. And in about 3 hours, it's gonna be dark. Run, run, run. Today's just stressful. I feel like I've got a lot to do and I don't have a lot of time, but I have these kind of artificial deadlines in my mind. I told Alyssa, I want power. Actually, you know what I told Alyssa? I said, I wanna be living in the house at the end of the month. Power is a big part of that. And yesterday, the electricians who came helped us a lot, but it wasn't what we expected. We had this conversation with the electrical company over a month ago, and we thought they were gonna hang around and get us all wired up and get us in to the house, and then we could kind of take over from there. That's kind of what we thought was gonna happen. Well, 2.5 weeks later than we were supposed to get service, we got the conduit in and we got the wire pulled. We're very thankful for that, but it puts a lot of weight back on my shoulders, which I'm fine with. One of the things that Alyssa and I struggle with in this build is when we're waiting on other people. We feel like when we're in control and the project is waiting on us, that's good. When we're standing around waiting for somebody else, we're kind of lost because so much of what we do is around the house or doing house-like things. So we got the panels in yesterday. We got the conduit pulled, we got the wire pulled, and so basically we're at a point where the panel on the outside of the house is live, but the panel inside the house is not live. For a million reasons, I wanted this trench backfilled. I won't even list them all, but in a nutshell, it's just got to go away. Trenches are just bad news bears. I do need to do some work on the footing drain that I damaged when I excavated, so I'm going to leave that open temporarily. I don't have the fittings. I do have the pipe, but I don't have the fittings. I don't think I'm going to get time to get it done today, but this is progress. Nice and smooth. Got this all backfilled, so now we can walk over here. Bugaboo can walk over here. Cars can drive over here. We can get in here to put water in our cisterns, etc. So I've got the home run left to do on the trench, and once I get down to about there, things are going to start getting difficult because it's going to have to all be done with the backhoe. Up front here, I can do most of it with the loader. Actually, you know what? I kind of hosed myself because I stuck it all over there. So, you know what? Most of this is going to have to be done with the backhoe. That works out okay. It's just a little bit slower. My goal by tonight is to have that panel live and the panel inside live. There's really not that much to do inside. Once I get this trench backfilled, I can work inside under the lights. So I'm not really constrained by daylight, which is awesomeness. But I brought home one thing for Alyssa, and I don't think I told her. Oh yeah, that's a heater. that's gonna be music to Alyssa's ears. The number one struggle Alyssa has in the house right now, we've got protection, we've got waterproofness, but it's cold in here. Well, I guess for me, this is super comfortable, but for Alyssa, it's just too chilly for her bones. Thankfully, that heater is gonna go in the bathroom, and it's a fairly simple circuit. So maybe, just maybe, and I'm not saying it'll be before bedtime, but maybe we'll get a heater wired up in here. I also wanna get one outlet, just one. If I can get that there, I can ditch probably 80% of the extension cords outside, and we can run the lights off of a circuit in here and the heater. The problem has been that we run all these extension cords. We have one 20, I think it's a 20 amp breaker clear out at the pedestal and over 300 feet of electrical cords. Even though they're big, doesn't really help at that distance. That's my goal for tonight. One of the challenges with this trench is going to be getting this packed back down to the same compaction of the driveway. For now, I'm just doing what we call wheel compaction, basically driving the backhoe back and forth, using the heavy tires in the rear to compact it, drag some dirt over it, drive the wheels over it, rinse and repeat, and we'll probably get it to about 80% compaction. Of course, over time, probably this winter mostly, that dirt will settle and everything will kind of shimmy shake back to where it belongs, and then we'll probably have to add some 3/4 minus to the top, which will get us back to where we were before we started digging. If I'm gonna get this trench backfilled before dark, I better hustle. Well, crud, guys. I just got noticed that something we've been waiting for all day has happened, and so now we've got to jump back to what I was doing this morning. So I gotta get the backhoe out of the way, and I guess if we're lucky, we'll be able to jump inside the garage when I get back, because it's definitely gonna be dark. Are you going with me?
Heck yeah.
Woohoo!
Spent time with you in like a week.
I know, I haven't seen you much lately. Back in a bit, guys. Bugaboo! Well, that was a long night. But you know what? I'm kind of proud of myself. I would say that of my digging and trenching skills, backfilling a trench is probably my weakest skill. And I did that at night. Now, it's not done, but that's pretty doggone good. I'll take it. The bad news is, right at the end, I kind of forgot how much power that big light bar takes up top, and I might have fried a couple of fuses. So I'll replace those today. Oops, it's been a while since I needed the lights, but I'll tell you what, I'm not sad I had them last night. I was able to work until almost 10:30. Pretty awesome. Well, it's probably self-explanatory. I did not get heat and I did not get power into the house. I did not reach my goals. But it's a new day, I've got energy, so we'll start off where we left off. So I've got to get that footing drain fixed. It's pretty boogered up right behind the conduit, and then I can get this backfilling finished, and then it's time to go inside the house and start getting electricity. That's better. All right, it's time to get this wire, which is called SER. No, I don't know what that stands for. We've got to get it secured, and code says every 4.5 feet. So we're going to be coming down this bay, and then we need to bring it down through this top plate and into the panel. We need to put some sort of a block above here and below here, because code says, I think within 12 inches of the panel, you have to have either a staple or some method of support or attachment. So we'll have to put a block there, get that SER coming down through into the panel, and then we'll work on getting it wired into the panel. Once that's done, we can work on the outside. In case you're wondering, yeah, that wire is a bear. Wire? That doesn't even seem to do it justice. Let's call it cable. I think that's a better way to put it. Of course, now that moment of fear or panic where I'm afraid of cutting this thing too short, but then there's also the reality of cutting it too long. I think if we go the length of the entire panel, we'll be more than fine. I think maybe actually what we'll do, we'll cut the whole cable down here at this length, and then we'll remove the sheath back up to maybe about here, and then we have to hook to our grounding lug. And I think we're actually going to harvest one of these grounding lugs and take it to the outside panel because of the size of the wire. The panel outside doesn't have an adequate lug. Then we can pull each strand out and kind of think about what length makes sense. So we've got 2 hots, a neutral, and our grounding bus. Off. Importante. It's not even hooked up out here, but it never hurts to just make sure that's turned off. Nope, not gonna cut it. Got it. That was fun. get these hots over here. One hot there, one hot there, a neutral there, a ground there. Moment of truth. This is the scariest part of it all because this wire is freaking expensive and it is half-day job to get it into this panel. I guess the good news is if I get these wrong, which I don't think you can do because it's just two legs, two 120 legs, I guess they could be switched and the neutral is going to go over here no matter what. That's not going to move, so, and the ground's going to go over here. I think we'll probably end up running a ground bridge. Oh wait, the box I think is ground. So as long as we're grounded to this bus and it's grounded to the panel, I'm pretty sure this bus is grounded. So I think we're good to go. I think we just want to make sure that we're all the way into that lug, but not too far. Wow. Let's go maybe there. That'll work. Probably don't want to overstrip the wire so that there's any amount of wire showing outside the lug. So we'll kind of go conservative. It's probably a better tool for this, but something like that. Something like that. This is a antioxidant paste. This is to be applied just to the wires before they get inserted into the lugs. And of course it helps prevent corrosion at the lugs. It's available in large amounts in a small tube. So I got this at the local electrical supply store and they sell it in big amounts too. But I think this should probably be plenty to do this job because we're just doing, I guess, 4 wires. I don't even think it needs to be done on the ground wire, but I guess to be safe we'll do it on the ground wire. And then it needs to be done out at the panel outside. One down. I'm sure there's a more efficient way to apply this stuff. Yeah, there is a hole in the top of this thing. It's annoying. Coming up both ends. Okay, 2 down. Ooh. Ooh. And she goes. About like so. Looks pretty good, huh? Not that you have a lot of options. Stuff is brutally stiff. Yeah, no, this isn't the right tool for this. But I did figure this out back when I was wiring our inverter. The lugs on our inverter, I think, were a little bit higher quality. I don't know. And so I was able to use a 1/4-inch ratchet instead of using a monster Allen wrench. Looks like I'm not going to get away with that twice. Nice. That'll work. I'm not sure that kink right there is good or bad, I suppose. I guess it's okay. Might be a little better if I kind of tuck it in the back like that. Probably would prefer that just be a single bend, but since it's not a load carrying wire, I think it'll be okay. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. So the super savvy out there have already noticed this, but what's not obvious about this panel is that there's no main breaker. There's no way to disconnect the house from here. So as long as these wires are live, this panel is live. A lot of homes have a main disconnect inside the house. So if for some reason you wanted to shut the whole house off, you could do it from inside, flip a switch. That breaker for us is outside. I turned the power off, but we're off grid now, so you're good to go. Yeah, because we still have our inverter. So you didn't even know I turned the power off.
I'm unplugged Thunderbolt.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, just cooking dinner.
Okay, I'm just going to connect the house to the power grid, so it'll be out for a little bit.
Okay, sounds good.
Okie doke.
I'll go out there and join you.
And then dinner?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'll see you soon. Inverter's earning its keep. Batteries are doing their job. I was hoping to get this done before dark. I think there's still a chance, but a little light never hurt. Well, at least we got the outside panel connected, but I'm not going to be able to make this go live right now because I don't have the right Allen here to torque those lugs down, and it's just not a good idea. So I think I'm going to have dinner with Alyssa, and then I might hit storage because I'm pretty sure we've got that probably in one of our toolboxes at storage, a large set of Allen keys, and then we'll shut the power back down and we can torque everything. And then we should be able to start running circuits in here for an outlet and Alyssa's favorite, a heater. Some of you watching know exactly what this is, and other folks may not. This is a contactless electricity detector. Voltage detector? I guess it's just a detector. It doesn't tell you anything about the electricity, only whether there is some or not. And this is rated from 100 volts to 1,000 volts. And the cool thing is you can rub it on your skin and generate enough voltage to actually trigger the sensor to test whether it's working or not. And it's very helpful when you're wanting to work on something and if you're not sure if there's current there or not. Of course, it's just that. It's just a detector. You can't use it to measure voltage or anything like that. But I think it's a great way before you pull a faceplate on an outlet or anything like that to check for voltage. So as you noticed, I checked for voltage at this panel even though we had the main breaker off, and I've had Alyssa turn the breaker back on, and I'm not able to detect through the box, but if I get down to the conduit, there's definitely current there. So that's coming from the main panel, but there's nothing here on the conduit going into the house. So that's what I wanted to verify, is that our breaker is working. I guess there's no law that says a breaker's doing its job, and make sure that we don't have any current going into the house. This is going to be our best friend for the next little while as we flip breakers on and off and test out some of our wiring.
Dinner brought to you by Grid Power.
Oh yeah.
Crockpot lemon chicken. Non-Grid Power. That's Grid Power.
That's Grid Power right there. Crock-potting it. Of course you can crock-pot off grid, but anyway.
Well, you can. It's a lot harder.
It's a lot harder for sure,
Ready
especially
to
on
eat?
non-sunny days. Yeah, ready to stuff my face.
Heck yeah.
A little more seasoning for the goodness. And I'm back from storage, and my dad has saved the day. Before we moved up here, my dad graciously gave us pretty much all of his tools, a lot of his hand tools, things that he had from over the years, trades and things like that. And a lot of the tools, well, kind of like a project, any project, we've been just incrementally using the tools. A lot of them were my grandpa's that were handed down, and I'm very thankful for that. We've got a couple of tool towers, and we kind of just have to pick through those, whether it's like, you know, a screw remover or a weird set of pliers. We don't have everything though, because I haven't found a set of like cable cutters or bolt cutters yet. But the good news is my dad has a very large assortment of Allen wrenches, and we've got just the one to tighten these lugs down. So hopefully we can get these tightened down pretty easily, and then I think we're ready to stick an outlet right down there. Darn, I already screwed up the instructions the electrician gave me. He said to actually strip this before you put it in the box. That way you can get the sheath nice and tight to the box and you don't have a lot of extra wire in there. He recommended to have 6 inches of exposed wires inside the box. So let's do, he said a minimum of 6. So let's do a little bit more than that. It's probably a good 6 right there. And then he said, I think a minimum of a 1/2 inch of sheathing inside the box. Something like that. And then we'll staple that. Well, we'll actually probably put a block across here, and then we'll staple to that block. That'll be better. Then we'll run this up in the panel. Guys, moment of truth. If I've wired this correctly, when I flip this breaker, the garage lights are going to come on. You ready? Are you ready? Should we get Alyssa out here? No. I know what we'll do to get Alyssa out here. Let's see if this works first. Yeah, buddy. We got power in the garage. Send text message to Alyssa.
Sorry, I'm having trouble with the connection. Please try again in a moment.
All right. Send text message to Alyssa. I have something really, really, really exciting for you in the garage. Come check it out.
Ready to send it?
Yeah. Yeah, she's going to be excited, guys. All right, sit in the chair.
You lied, there is heat.
I did lie just a little bit. Okay.
Yes.
Sit in the chair.
No, it's not
and then
much.
you have to turn the knob. Turn the knob.
To extreme
Just
high?
turn it all the way up.
Oh, yeah. It's not much.
And the lights didn't flicker.
It's not much. But
Well,
it's
a
heat.
big garage.
Are you gonna let it run all night?
No.
Really?
No, that'll never heat the garage. That's like a candle.
So now what we need to do is drape a blanket over me and the heater.
That's what you're
I've
probably
done that
gonna do.
before and people tell me it's a fire hazard.
It
but,
is. It is.
But I've never caught on fire, so.
It's when you drape a blanket over the wood stove that's really a fire
Well, I haven't
hazard.
done that.
Right. But there's heat.
Oh, that's so nice.
And the lights didn't flicker. All I got was one circuit wired. I got an outlet. I got a heater.
That's a start.
That's what I swore I would get done.
That's awesome.
One
That's
light
so
and
cool.
one heater. Yeah, one outlet and
Wow.
one heater. Yep. That's not the heater that I wanted to put in. There's a better heater that puts out
nice.
like
We should totally go heater shopping tomorrow.
3 times as much as that. Yeah?
And then next week we'll go king bed shopping.
Hey, sounds good to me. I win! I did it, guys. I got a heater in the dang house. Well, it's enough to heat like that room right there, but it's a heater in the house, right? All right, this has been a lot of work, but I am really proud of myself for getting this done. I'm thankful to Alyssa for all of her help, and of course to the electricians for kind of getting us off and running. The start of good things, guys. Tomorrow is a new day, and I have lofty goals. Stick around to find out what they are. Real question is, what's Bugaboo gonna do when he finds out there's heat in the house?
I don't know.